Tiny Jens, I'm down here.
That a Copper Golem?
Yes.
Nah, you know what? There's every chance that mobs can come back now from the mob votes. We're talking about that Raging Inferno thing, the Chillager, Piss Cow. I'm on Bedrock Edition. This is preview 121-123. This stuff is all coming to a Java snapshot in a couple of weeks. I think they're on holiday right now, so I've got a Copper Golem here that's doing something. And I've got a testing ground over here on the right. I did not think they were going to release this so soon. They had just released a bunch of sneak peeks on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube.
Copper Golem, the Copper Chest, and Copper Armor, Tools, and Weapons to Bedrock Beta and Preview.
So there's CU, which is Copper 29, the element number. We have 29, 11, 63, 54. This is all Copper. 11 being the 11th column on the periodic table. 63, 54, the atomic mass. This is their YouTube short. We have the face of the Copper Golem. You can see all of them hard at work over here. Alright, so let's go. We've got a lot to get through. New mob, new tools, new tier, everything. There's a lot. To spawn a Copper Golem, you need a copper block, which is right here. You can use any of these ones. You can use weathered copper. You can use lightly weathered copper. You can use oxidized copper. By the way, there are copper nuggets now. You can even use waxed copper, although there is no difference in any of the stuff. I'll get waxed lightly weathered copper here. And then you need a pumpkin, a carved pumpkin, of course. So we've got this, and then if we place a carved pumpkin, you have yourself a Copper Golem on a chest. And he starts investigating. You can see here the way that he moves. It's just so well done. All of this stuff is so well done. All right, so now he's gonna beeline from here to here, which is kind of funny. Now, of course, this is the waxed version of the copper block. And if I place a pumpkin here, you can see that he still works. This is a lightly weathered Copper Golem. However, he is not waxed because if I grab an axe here, do this, it removes it. And if I do the same thing to this chest, which I will talk about in a second, there we go. Looks exactly the same. Where are you going? By the way, these guys drop 1 to 3 copper ingots when they're killed. For certain reasons I will not explain, I will not show you footage of me killing them with looting 3. It doesn't do anything. All right, let me explain how they all work. So I'm going to summon a Copper Golem right here. And immediately what he's going to do is going to look around him about a 1 chunk radius for any copper chests that look like this. What he'll do is he'll keep searching inside all of these copper chests until he can find an item to take out of them. The moment he does that, he's going to go into these regular chests and sort them in wherever he can find a matching item. So let's get, some iron ingots. And I'll put them, okay, so he's good. He's done. He'll look at 10 copper chests and then there'll be a 7-second cooldown. So that's why he was sort of just idling over there. But I'll put some iron ingots in here. He won't take the whole stack. He'll take a maximum of 16. So he's going to get to this chest eventually, unless I block it, but I won't. So he'll grab 16 of them inside the chest and then he'll sort them into the nearest chest that he can find. So he'll put them in. So there's now iron ingots in here. And eventually what will happen, of course, is he'll get to this chest with 48 iron ingots left. He'll grab them and he'll place them in that chest again. And he'll place down another 16. So there'll be 32. All right, so what I'll do now is I'm going to take these iron ingots out and I'm going to place an axe. Sure. So now he's going to go back to this chest and realize, oh no, there's a golden axe in here. It doesn't match. So we'll go to the next one and he'll place down the ingots in there. So it's the most intuitive thing, I swear. This was so well done. There's also an order to this. So if I place down some carved pumpkins over here, he's going to grab these ones because it's in the first slot. He's going to go here. He'll realize there's an axe. He'll go here, realize there's an iron ingot. So he'll go to the next one, which will be this chest. He'll place them inside here and done. The bugs with his behavior sort of happen when you realize that he can't reach certain chests. So there's a chest over here on top. All right, so he's grabbed the pumpkins again. He's gonna try to get here and he'll just stay there forever.
Huh?
You can see now that he's trying to target this chest, which is within his range, but he won't be able to get to it because he's too short. There's no other way to describe it. So I can put a block here to allow him to jump onto it, but he still won't even try. What if I do this? Will he even try to? He's so targeted onto this chest that he won't even attempt. Just watch him hold the sword. Look at this. Holding it by the blade like the menace he is. Why you gotta shake that thing like that, man? All right, well, he's still sorting the stuff. I'm gonna show you guys how to make the chest. He rarely goes over here because it's outside his range. We've got a chest here. If you want to make a copper chest, that is how you do it. Now, you may notice that these two chests look a little bit different. That's because they have been oxidized. All of these guys will oxidize over time, but obviously to speed this up, I gotta do something like this, and then these ones should oxidize. Unless I've waxed them. Have I waxed them? Yeah, I've waxed all of them. You obviously can't make... Oh, there we go. They're oxidizing now. That's weird. I would expect that you've oxidized by now. You can't make waxed copper chests simply because there's no such thing as a waxed copper ingot. So you can get a honeycomb if you want to wax all of this stuff. We can get rid of all of this stuff. We can wax it now. I'm not sure why they're not being affected by the random tick speed. It might be because it's an internal NBT that's not affected by it. Hey. You can actually access things from a minecart, which is good. Some interesting quirks you might want to know. If you leash a copper golem, you sort of leash it on the lightning rod on his head. You can pull him out of the range here. No, he's still going to be able to access that chest, which is crazy. You might also be thinking, is he actually a walking liability? No, he's not. Lightning won't strike him. I mean, I'll talk about the copper tools and stuff in a moment, but there is a set of copper armor. If you wear them, you're not going to attract lightning. All right, so here's a funny little demonstration that I did on stream. So now he's going to try to get through the wall here. Oh no, he's gonna go through the door because he understands. He doesn't understand. Okay, what do I do this? Oh wait, you can't fit through the door because you're too big. Alright, so briefly talk about the copper tools and copper armor. It's kind of hard to really deeply examine all of this stuff, and that's because it's on preview, it's not on Java yet. They've listed copper as the middle tier. It's for people who really can't find enough iron to sort of make a set of iron tools, and so if you can find copper, you've got a basic level of protection and efficiency. So, we've got a lot of copper. Remember, when you mine 1 copper ore, you get between 2 and 5. That's a lot already. We've got 11 from that small vein, and immediately that entitles us to a furnace. Well, that cooks, we'll find some more. So we don't need that many. And I've got to say, making iron armor isn't exactly that difficult, but this is great early game usage when you have an abundance of copper that you really don't have a use for. Unless you're a player that would just want to make a ton of copper golems for no real reason. And you might, but copper is just so abundant. It's crazy. We've got 57 in this tiny little area. Add all of them in. Yeah, that's right. I'm playing survival. Okay. Oh, what are you doing? You can make yourself a copper sword, a copper pickaxe, you can make yourself a copper axe, and a copper shovel. Crazy theory. I think stone tools are dead. This does the same amount of attack damage as a stone sword, but it's more durable. This doesn't mine more things than a stone pickaxe, but it mines faster and it's more durable. Same thing as these guys, more durable. Here is the durability chart. I don't know how they found the Java edition stuff, but it might just be the same as Bedrock, but one different. You can see it's smack bang in the middle of stone and iron. We can make the armor right now, so we've got our leggings, boots, whatever, and then our chest plate right here. And you can see how much protection it provides you. So it gives you 5 bars of armor, a little bit less than gold. Iron gives you 7.5, which is a lot more. So if you decide to wear your caramel armor here, which does not oxidize, by the way, none of this stuff oxidizes, I should point that out. Kind of funny. It'd be better if it did. You can wear this for a short amount of time if you don't want to waste your iron supply. I guess you could do this, but copper pickaxes, use it to just branch mine because it is pretty efficient. It just doesn't mine anything more, which is annoying because if you're doing this and you've got diamonds, you're going to switch away to your iron pickaxe anyway. So copper armor, copper tools, very basic early game material. It's really not that bad. Just really like it that they've decided to give copper more use. But it's crazy, even after all of that, it's still way too much copper in the world. What the hell are you guys doing? I haven't even factored in fortune as an enchantment. Just look at how much copper there is over here. Crazy. Another 48. Wow, you're struggling. I guess the whole balancing act that's required because there's so much copper in the world, you don't want to make them overpowered. So I guess that's why it doesn't give you a lot of protection. Still incredibly useful. Big thank you to Mojang for this. This really does rejuvenate the discussion behind Minecraft. And even more so, here's the video they released to announce all of this. And you can see Agnes here in a mine.
I'm Agnes, and I have always yearned for the mines.
We don't need to talk about that. I tweeted this out, but I might just show you over here. Something's going on over here. I don't know if this was intentional. They really didn't talk about it at all, but I'm sure that someone thought about it when editing. Also, random white line. I'm going to briefly show you the end of this video, and someone pointed out that this may indicate another mob vote mob. Have a listen.
Did we place any torches on our way here?
Is that the glare?
Yikes, it's too dark in here.
It's all speculation. A lot more coming to the channel. Do subscribe. This is the 3rd drop of 2025. How do you feel about the new drop system? Seems pretty nice right now. Why you gotta shake that thing like that, man?